generally have two major areas to manage and look at. So the first area is the area of the resources that you have selected to use, and this is it here. Okay, these are all the resources available to your school. And the other area is the area where these resources came from. Now you can add as many resources here as you like, but to get the resources here in the first place, the place you would go to is this button here called TV4Education. This screen layout can be different. Okay, so there are some sites that have this kind of screen layout. Okay, there are some people that have this kind of screen layout. There are some people that have this kind of screen layout. Okay, but regardless of the kind of screen layout that you choose to run with, the school's resources will appear on one page, and it's called the school's collection. And the other area, which is where this TV4Education button will take you, is for the teachers only. There is no way you can accidentally get in there as a student. So when you click on the TV4Education button, this will take you to a wealth of knowledge-based videos, and also the ability for you to be able to request content on any subject, any topic, any curriculum outcome. We're the only organization that do that, regardless of what some people say that, oh, we have a little backroom place where we create videos and what have you. When you come here, you have access to over 160,000 videos as at the start of 1st of June. It's way over that now. And we add roughly about 250 to 300 new videos on here. We've tried to give you a sort of a Netflix experience because a lot of people have Netflix and we want to make it easy, and it is literally quite easy to use. So if you got recently added up the top, you got Learning Tube, which is content specifically tied to curriculum outcomes and topics, then documentaries, movies, YouTube, and lessons. Okay, people used to say, oh, we are the only people that provide lessons. Not true. You can just go to YouTube and you'll find tons and thousands of lessons. You can come to us, you'll find lessons. You can go to one of our more professional competitors and Enhanced TV, and they provide lessons. So there's lessons provided by a whole range. It's not exclusive to anyone, neither is it exclusive to us. We just happen to also have lessons on there. Okay, now if you are a teacher, you'll come in here and you can search for anything. So if you're looking through here, this is all the recent stuff that people have asked. And if you go, oh, we're teaching Italian, I like that video, you just click on it and then you just click the star, and that's all there is to adding content to your collection. It literally is as simple as that. It's just a matter of opening up the video that you're looking at. If you like the video, you can either watch it, you can have a look at the synopsis of it, you can fast forward it, okay? And if that's what you want, just click the star and it gets added to your school's collection. That's how simple it is. But if you want to search, okay, and people used to say, one of our competitors used to say, you can't search. Well, I don't know what they're looking at, but SCIENCE, science. And guess what? And they say, oh, but that's the only science video. They've got about 12 of them. Not really. When we have 160,000, just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And you could be there for a few days scrolling to try and find videos. And if you see something you like, just click on the star and it gets added to your system. And if you go, oh, so it's just science. What about physics? So what about history? Well, you can put those terms in there, but you can go down to the search for subjects area here, and this will give you all the issues, all the different subjects and all the other topics. So you can go in here and you can search for STEM. You can go into chemistry. And again, this is not all there is. Just scroll up and scroll up and scroll up and scroll up. And if you see something you like, click on it. Click on the star. And unlike other systems, we give you unlimited storage, so you will never, ever, ever have to delete material just because you run out of space. Quite frankly, I would recommend that you just don't delete anything, even if you've used it and now have no need for it, because you might come back to it, or you've put it there for the privilege of other people that come along who they in turn might want to be able to use it. So be a bit more generous. So when you go into content, and if you have no requirement for it, don't go ahead and delete it, because there's no need to. You've got unlimited storage space. Leave it for the people that come after you. Okay? Now, if you turn and say, yes, but I am a science teacher, and I know you've got 160,000, but YouTube has literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands. And not only do they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands, but they have professional educators and teachers with an altruism for sharing not just the topic material, but for sharing the way they communicate a topic. And I have been a YouTube user for years, and I have very successfully used it, taught it, and encouraged my students to go down the path of YouTube. And quite frankly, YouTube is here today because of its success. How many times you're trying to, like in my case, trying to repair a car or to paint a wall or anything. You can find almost any topic on YouTube. If you need to do anything, YouTube's a brilliant place to go. And that is why over 90% of teachers in schools worldwide use YouTube. And not only that, it's free. So if you're a devout YouTube user, why not click on YouTube and have a look and scroll? And by the way, that's not all there is to it. Load more, and then go ahead and keep scrolling and just keep looking and have a look at what's available. You'll just be surprised at what is up there in the YouTube area. Okay, we encourage YouTube. I love YouTube. And yeah, every now and again you get some Mickey Mouse joint or some company that will try and take on YouTube in the marketplace and say they're better than YouTube. Well, it's everyone's choice to say that, but the reality is YouTube has a massive following, and they also have absolutely dedicated people that love showing off their expertise. And basically, you be the judge, okay? And you have the ability to be the judge. So when you see something that you like on YouTube, click on the star, add it to your collection. Now, we don't download that stuff, okay, because it's illegal. But what we allow you to do is make sure that it is already bookmarked, not just for you, but for your students and for all the teachers that come after you, okay? So the TV4Education Space allows you to have a look what other teachers have requested out of the TV4Education area, okay, and based on subjects and based on YouTube. Now, what happens if you come across a topic, and now I have to put some rubbish in here because otherwise I'm going to come up with some YouTube. If I put any word or phrase, I will get material from YouTube. So just to make it interesting, let's say that's my topic, and I would really like some content on that, assuming that that is a legitimate word and legitimate phrases. And when you do a search, if you get no results found, okay, one of the big advantages for you, so let me just clear that screen. If you get no results found on TV4Education, you go to YouTube and it says no results found. One of the beauties of TV4Education is we go, don't fret and do not worry, because you've got the My Request button. And that's what we do that nobody else does. We say to every teacher, make us your research department. And the reason for that is because when you click on My Requests, you can come in here, you can go into Make a Request, You can request absolutely any program from free to air. Okay, we don't just give it lip service. We also allow you to request absolutely anything from the Foxtel spectrum. That's, you know, you can request for it. And what you can do is you can say, no, it's neither from those. I want some digital content for my year 10s on this particular curriculum, this particular subject. That's my lesson aim, and this is what I'm trying to teach. And by the way, we have some learning difficulty students, or we've got some kids that are really very, very far ahead of our group. So I'd like some content just, so tell us, be specific about what you want and challenge our research department. And we'll come back to you with a list of resources. Nobody else will guarantee that or even do it. But at TV4Education, we do, because we are absolutely committed to education and to do it for you at the most economical cost, so that you are not eating into your valuable curriculum budgets and into your school budgets to pay for digital content when you can have almost anything you want. And there it is. And when, of course, a student clicks on it from the school's collection, or a parent to work with their student, their child, to be able to go through the system, it's up there. Now, if you're a teacher and you've got this particular video, okay, and in this case, this particular video is a YouTube video, it could have been any video, but you want to make sure that your students watch this video because it deals with certain aspects. Why not share it? Click on the share button, tell it who you're sharing it with, and then just grab that URL and copy it. Just right click and copy, and then just email it to them. Put into a learning management system. We don't care what learning management, as long as your system, the other digital system that you're using, the library system, the learning management system, and so forth and so on, as long as it accepts an industry URL, just go and paste it as if you would paste google.com.au in there. And when you go paste, it'll give you a dirty great big URL. You don't need to concern about it. But what will happen is, when the student clicks on it or the parent clicks on it, this is what's going to happen. If they're already logged on, it will just play the video, and they can fast forward, and they can go backwards. They can do whatever they want on that video, okay, and watch it. If they weren't logged on, if they weren't signed in, it will ask them to sign in. And that's the important thing. And when they sign in, then the video will play. Now, the reason for that is because in Smart Suite, we talk about accountability. We talk about us being accountable to you, so that when you make a request, we say that we'll guarantee to give you something. We will not just pay lip service to it. So we ask to be accountable. When you go and give content to your students, we say, make them accountable. And so we'll give you a report of everyone who clicked on that video, how many times and when they've clicked on that video. We also keep accountability to teachers that add content to the system, so you can keep a track on how much is being added, and then not just have the video just sitting there, making it discoverable. So if you want to make a video discoverable, so this is chemistry, but it might also deal with physics. And if you'd like to tag it as a physics also video, and not just physics, but physics for year 8 and year 11, and particular area of physics, so that the kids can go in and put their search terms that you've been talking about. So if you need to tag it, I for information and the edit button. You click on the edit button as a librarian or manager or of the system, then you can go into local subjects and add whatever subject tags you want, or go into notes, and you can paste your whole assignment in there. And whatever you enter into that record is now all searchable from the search screen. Okay, so make your content as discoverable as you can possibly get. So that's one of the amazing factors for the content that's sitting on the school system, and how you can make it discoverable. Okay, now you might go and say, all right, I want to send a list of all these videos to my science students or my science department. So why not do a search of science, okay, And then once you bring up all your content with science, what you can do is click on the advanced search button, and you can say with keyword equal to science, and you go create a link for this search. It says a link has been copied. So all you do now, go to your science web page on your school server, on your school website, or if you want to put it as a unit of work somewhere, just right click and paste that URL. And every time someone clicks on that button, what will happen, even though this might have been created today, but 2 days from now, 2 months from now, 2 years from now, what it will do, it will not just bring up the resources, but it'll bring up the most current, and any resource that has been deleted will be off it. Any resource that doesn't fit into year 8s and I'm logged in as a year 8 student will not show on there as well. So everything is secured, and every video has a security rating for individual groupings. But the big thing is that as you continue to add more resources from TV4Education into the science area, it'll automatically also appear on the search. You don't have to redo the search ever again. So that's one of the big advantages. Okay. Now, the last thing we're going to deal with is, all right, I need to add students to the system. How do I add it? Very simple. So you can import all your students. So if you're an IT person, or if you're not an IT person, talk to an IT person. If you can't talk to an IT person, talk to us and we'll show you how to import it. But to import, you go into here and then you go patron and you go smart patron import. Excuse me. And if you can watch the tutorial, and you can also run the help article to show you how to import your students into the system. It's very, very easy to do. Okay, but if you can't be bothered doing all of that, talk to us and we'll show you. It's very simple. But you go, I don't want to import everyone. I've just got young Johnny. He just started school today. So in that case, you just need to click on the menu button, patron, and patron management. When you go to patron management, it's going to bring up your record. If you want to add a new patron, it's just new. Click on new and give him a barcode. If you don't have a barcode or some way of identifying him, put any rubbish in there. We really don't care as long as it's unique. So you can see I'm just putting something in there. His name is John, and his surname is Johansson. His email address is, you don't have to put it in. He is in the year 8 class. And it's a year 8 student, and you can see his role as a student, and I'll just go save, and that's all there is to creating John. Now you need to give him a password because we want to make sure that he's accountable for everything he uses. So by giving him this barcode or this fictitious number and giving him a password, we can make sure that there is no other way anybody else other than John logged in. So you just click on change password, and my recommendation is give him a generic password like password, and you'll give everyone exactly the same password. Go change password and it comes back here, and it's change password on next login, yes, which means that you can tell everyone every time you put them on, your login password is password to start off with, but when you go in, it's going to ask you to change your password after you've logged in. You only need to do that once and that's it. If they forget their password, do a find, bring them up, then go change password, give them the password or password again. Make sure you change on change password or next login down here, and they're off and running. Now, if it's a teacher, then of course you don't want to give them the role of a student. You can click on here and you can say, well, that's actually a teacher. Okay. Now, if it's a teacher, you should give him an email address. John at school. Okay. And then go save. Once you do that and you've made him a teacher, if you click email login, John will get an email to that email address saying, "Hi John, welcome to TV4Education. This is your username. You need to your password or your password. You need to create one." And then what it will do is it will put the TV4Education button on his page. So only people that have the role of anyone other than student will have the TV4Education button. Okay. And if you say, "No, I want this person to also edit all the content I've put in there, and I want them to be able to add their own term and their search terms in there." Well, what you can do is you can just say, "No, I'm not putting in the teacher role for him, and this is someone who helps me. I'm going to make sure that they're a cataloger or they're a librarian." Okay. And what that will do, if you give them that authority, then when they click on the menu button here, they will have cataloging and they will be able to go and annotate. And if they click on a searched item, so when they're in the schools collection and they click on a video, when the synopsis of the video comes up and the title comes up over here, okay, let's bring it back. Click on the eye to bring it back. They will have the edit button. And when they click on edit, it'll bring up the cataloging screen, so they can go into subjects and add tags, and they can go into notes and they can add tags. How many notes can they have? Quite frankly, if you want to type in or paste in the whole Encyclopedia Britannica, you can. It's unlimited. You can put unlimited tags. So if you want to put the name of the assignment against this particular video, click on local subject. You could have put it on subject area, but click on local subject, go down to a blank field, and then you can go and you can choose Aboriginal cultures. You can go to another line and you can go, "Oh, this one's not there." So you can type in animals of, okay, animals of Australia. So let me just fix that spelling. Animals of Australia, that's it. And you just go, "Yep, I want to add it." It says it doesn't exist. Do you add it? Yeah, add it. And that's it. Now you've got a search term of animals of Australia or Aboriginal culture or just Australia or just animals or culture animals. Any combination of whatever you put. So any word or phrase you put absolutely anywhere in the record is all of a sudden now searchable. And that's the power of giving every student on the system the ability to be able to interact with the system based on their login credentials. Okay, now let's go back to the very last person I just put on. Remember this person, John? And you can say, "But we're a primary school. I only put that in there because I didn't have his registration number." So you can do a search or go to the very last record you added, which is that button. It'll come up and you go, "Oh, I've now got his school number, and it's 000234. That's his school number." So that's fine. Of course, primary schools, primary kids are not going to remember that. Okay, especially if they're year 2 or 3, but they'll know their name. So why don't you give them also a username? And John, all in lowercase, you can put in uppercase, it doesn't matter. John and Johansson. So that's a username. Now, if you do that, what that means is the student will be able to log in with that number and the password. Or they can choose username and the password. Or they can put in their email address and their password. So you have 3 different ways of accessing it. And you think, the username sounds good, but we've got 1,000 students. You telling me you have to put in that username for every student? No, not really. All you do is talk to us and we'll do it for you. Take us all of about 10 minutes. That's it. And all of them will be done. And we can just generate that for everybody on the system. Okay. The last thing is you're new to the system. You're just struggling through with it. So how do I ask for help? Now, we don't treat the school as our customer. We treat every individual teacher as our customer. So once you're logged into the system and you're up and running and you're working along fine, but you want to know how to edit this YouTube video and get 2 minutes at the start, a minute in the middle, and then save it, and then put question and answers against it, and then track who got it right. So you want to go into the lessons module, but you don't know, because as the introduction, we don't deal with it. So what you can do is click on the menu, go down to mailbox, okay, and in mailbox click on support ticket and then go create a ticket. And here I would like someone to walk me through how to create a digital lesson. And in here is, I'm a YouTube person, please don't talk to me about all the content on TV4Education. I just want to know how to take a YouTube video, get 2 minutes at the start, a minute at the middle, and then add questions to it, and then track who's been using it. That's all you need to do. You hit that plane, and you can also say there, this is my phone number, please give me a call, okay? Or this is my email address, can you communicate with me? Or you can say, send me a link so that I can work it out. If I've got questions, I'll talk to you. So you can put anything in here and we'll respond to it in under 4 hours, okay? The last thing I want to do is, all right, all that was very quick, very fast. Where can I go for help? So no matter where you are in the system, whatever page that you are on, we have the help button. And when you click that help button, it will bring up the help based on the particular article that you are on, okay? But a little secret, why don't you just go to my favorite place for knowledge that you go to find anything, okay? YouTube. It's an amazing resource. It's even an amazing resource to find out how to use TV4Education. So click on there and type in TV4Education. And when you type in TV4Education, there's all the help on TV4Education. There's pages and pages and videos on all kinds of aspects of TV4Education. Thank you for the opportunity to presenting TV4Education new user training.